Authorities saying former NFL star Antonio Brown has been extradited from Dubai back to the U.S. to stand trial for attempted murder in connection with a shooting outside of a boxing event in Miami. You can hear shots ringing out during the chaotic scene back in May. Listen. Investigators are alleging Brown shot another man, possibly grazing him in the neck after a fight broke out. After the incident, Brown wrote, quote, "I was jumped by multiple individuals who tried to steal my jewelry and cause physical harm to me." Brown was once regarded as one of the best wide receivers in the league, winning a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay in 2021. I want to bring in NBC News legal analyst Misty Marris to break this down. Mitzi, what's your reaction to the extradition announcement? Because it sounds pretty bad. If you're on the run, they got to bring you back from Dubai. You're starting off on the wrong foot.
Yeah, absolutely. And think about this as 5 months ago, and the extradition process can take a long time, months or even years. So it's certainly something that looks like it had been in the works for a while. Going back, the arrest warrant was issued in June, on June 11th. And at the time, Tom, his lawyer was able to get him out on a $10,000 bond and house arrest. But he was abroad during that time, but he never turned himself in. So we can all safely say that will not be on the table when he returns and he's released to Miami-Dade, and he'll likely be behind bars through his trial.
How much is this going to hurt his trial and the start for his defense team?
Well, so as far as his state-level trial, he's going to be facing second-degree murder charges with a deadly weapon. So that's a very, very serious charge. But if he was, in fact, on the run, as it optically looks like, there could also be a federal component. Remember, he was brought back by U.S. Marshals. Since extradition is between the two countries, there's a federal element to that. So there's a possibility we see more to this than even what's on the books.
Do the prosecutors use that in their opening statement? Say, hey, this guy fled to Dubai. If he was innocent, why did he leave?
I think not only will you see issues regarding his staying in Dubai, failure to turn himself in, you will also see a whole host of social media posts about his lavish lifestyle while in Dubai that will also feed into his criminal prosecution.
What did he think? I mean, do you know what and I know you can't get inside his head, but what do you think the strategy was to escape, if you will, to Dubai?
It could have just been that he didn't understand the consequences. Could have been something more nefarious. I'm sure we're going to hear about that as this case unfolds.
Yeah, because we have a relationship with the UAE, so it's kind of strange that he would pick Dubai, but you never know. Where does this case go from here, and what kind of sentence, if convicted, could he be facing?
So because this is second-degree murder with a deadly weapon, that would normally be 15, but that's an enhancement, so it's 25 years. The next steps, he'll have his initial appearance. We'll have that bond hearing where I think you're going to see, what are the elements? You're looking at whether or not somebody is a flight risk. So almost certain to have any sort of bond or bail denied, and then we'll be on our way to trial.
If he beats this case, is he still in trouble for fleeing?
He could potentially be. There's no charges at this point.
Why do you
on
think
the
that
federal
is?
Side.
Is it too early?
It could just be coming. It could be coming. But I will say, Tom, we know that from that post that he had made shortly after this incident, looks like he's going to raise a self-defense type argument.
Yeah.
We know there's a lot of video. We know there's a lot of witnesses. So this is going to be a case that will play out likely before a jury.
Yeah, and then I want to ask you also, so you keep saying federal charges. There's no state charges if he fled? Or if he...
There's a potential for that
there is? Okay.
to be tacked on, absolutely. But when you're talking about the fleeing out of the country, needing to be apprehended by U.S. Marshals, that becomes a federal issue. And the penalties under the federal law are often more severe than under the state equivalents.
Misty, always great to see you. Thanks for being here.